Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at Nimble's CHAMP series of portable power banks. And if you're not familiar, this company, Nimble, is interesting because their slogan, Tech for Good, is very ambitious, but it means that all of their products are basically eco-friendly and made out of recycled materials. Ethical suppliers, sustainable materials that is free from e-waste and will, again, help our planet in the long run. I think that's an awesome mission. Otherwise, these series of portable power banks, the most entry level is called the Nimble CHAMP Lite, and it's a 5,200 milliamp hour capacity size, has up to 15 watts for charging USB compatible devices, and the packaging here is also eco-friendly, made out of recyclable cardboard. Have two ports that you can use for charging, both a Type-C and a standard full-size USB Type-A. Now the second model in the lineup, called the CHAMP, instead of the CHAMP Lite, has twice the capacity at 10,000 milliamp hours and faster charging speeds up to 18 watts. So this will support fast charging for most Android and iOS devices. Also, the plastic that they're using, not only is it eco-friendly, but it's also been treated to be antimicrobial. So in this day and age, as we are still battling COVID, a pandemic in many parts of the world, this particular material claims to block bacteria and germs from sticking and growing on it, which is a pretty neat idea. And finally, the most expensive that we have here, called the CHAMP Pro, is also the largest capacity, so now it's been doubled again, and this one here is powerful enough to supply juice up to 60 watts that can also charge most laptops, including MacBooks, Chromebooks, anything that uses a USB Type-C port for charging. So it really is ultra heavy duty, up to 6 times more powerful than a regular power bank. Again, it's going to be eco-friendly in terms of made out of recycled materials, plus it retains the antimicrobial, anti-germ coating on the plastic. Now these power banks also come in a variety of different customizable color schemes, which is pretty neat, such as this limited edition blue color, which is quite attractive, and they actually start at just under 25 bucks for the light version. The price then doubles for the regular CHAMP that has twice the capacity at 50 bucks, and then doubles once again for the Pro version that at 100 bucks. But the pricing here is all, I have to say, very competitive with other power banks we've seen in the past that have had a similar amount of capacity, as well as the ability to charge laptops. Now, one other element that makes the packaging here unique is all of them actually come with a free e-waste recycling bag inside, which you get as a little extra. So what this means is underneath this second compartment, you'll actually find this little pouch. So for example, a really old cell phone, something that you don't really need anymore, you can just pop into here, and afterwards you get to recycle this for free just by throwing it into the mailbox. So it goes into the plastics used for their other products and really helping the planet out. So a very nice, thoughtful additional piece that you get as a kind of optional accessory there. Otherwise, the CHAMP Lite also comes with a Type-C charging cable that has also the branding of the company, which is an elephant. And then on the top section here, we have another logo, Keep Charged Without Trashing the Planet. Alrighty, so taking a closer look at these CHAMP power banks, let's start with the cheapest one, the Lite model. That is made out of this polycarbonate plastic. We do have LED lights in the front that you can tap to see how much percentage of juice is left. The Type-C port here is used for both input and output, so you can both charge the battery pack itself as well as use it to charge a second device along with the Type-A port there on the rear. So pretty simple. Then the regular CHAMP actually is surprisingly not that much thicker than this model, maybe just by a hair. It is going to be heavier, however, but overall this is still super compact for something that's 10,000 milliamp hours. Finally, the largest model here is about twice the height of the CHAMP. Get the same accented key that you can see how much power is left, the Type-C port both for input and output, and by the way, this is the port that you want to use if you want to charge a laptop at 60 watts, and we also get another, again, USB port which supports Qualcomm Quick Charge, but the Type-A ports is only able to supply maximum 18 watts. It definitely looks like part of the same family with that same recycle and Nimble logo on the very bottom. Now all three of the textures of the plastics are made out of this matte material, which is pretty slick. Despite the fact that they are made out of recycled plastics, it doesn't feel too cheap or flimsy either, just as solid as any other power bank. Although I will say that they don't really have a rubber accent or something that's a little bit more grippy maybe would provide some extra resistance if you are putting onto a desk. It might slide around a little bit. I would also say that there's no real discernible difference in the texture of the plastic of the Lite model versus the Pro as well as the regular Champ, so they all feel quite similar. Let's do a quick charging demo. Plug this Pro unit into a laptop on the edge here, and we can see that again, it will start to charge the laptop up. We can start to use it, and it will still be continuously charging. Again, 60 watts, providing the full power needed to drive most laptops and ultra portables these days that have a Type-C port. And you'll see that it will turn green as well when it's driving the full 60 watts of power when charging. You can also plug in a second device to also charge a phone at the same time. However, 60 watts is the maximum output, which means that if you're charging a phone at the same time, it will reduce the power from the Type-C port down to, let's say, 45 watts. Keep that in mind if you're charging two devices at once. The power will be split, but overall that can be done, as you can see there. A smart charger in the sense that it won't overheat or overcharge. Once a particular device, like your laptop, reaches 100%, it will shut off charging on that port and continue charging on the other side if it isn't full yet. Despite the really compact size, it also remains fairly cool even if it's charging things at the fastest rate. I will say though that for a 20,000 milliamp hour pack, maybe it would be nice to have even a second USB Type-C or USB Type-A port so that you can charge maybe up to 3 devices at once. That would be another perk, but for what it is, it already works well enough, and charging speeds are indeed quite impressive. Using the 60 watts, it was able to charge up my laptop in under 2 hours, and for a smartphone using Qualcomm Quick Charge, it can also charge it up usually in around an hour to an hour and a half. The same thing applies to the smaller chargers as well. Again, we can use the Type-C port also for charging your device. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of Nimble's Champ series of power banks, the Champ Lite, regular Champ, and Champ Pro, and all of these again just have a simple design. As far as functionality goes, it's nothing to really write home about, although they all offer the latest charging speeds available in power banks today, such as the Pro model here at 60 watts. It's awesome, especially considering the small size, as well as that really interesting antimicrobial texture that they've put into the plastic that makes these protective from germs and bacteria from sticking. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. You can find out more details, but for now that's been our video of the Nimble Champ series power banks.